Okay, this is a short tutorial on how to replace your upper and lower ball joints on a 2001 Dodge Ram truck. I'm making it's a short video and kind of quick. When I was doing it back in June, I didn't see any tutorials on here on how to do it on a 2001 Dodge Ram truck. It took me 14 hours to remove uh, all 14 rivets, ironically, and I might be able to do a little faster today because it was all trial and error. I'd never done it before, and it was pretty difficult. The rivets are pretty thick. They're about 2.5 inches long, and the metal the metal alloy is pretty tough to pound out. Anyway, I did it. It cost me about $200 to do everything, including any tools I had to buy and all the parts. The dealership wanted around $2,500 to do it, and that didn't even include replacing my tie rods, which that $200 figure I mentioned includes all that. So I basically redid both sides. The problem was the original ball joints didn't have any grease fittings. I believe the tie rods did, but not the ball joints. So the booties on it eventually wore out, and I got excessive squeaking and some tire rub on the inner side of one of the tires. So I went ahead and replaced both of them, and I'll just show you kind of a slideshow here of certain aspects of it. Let me see here. I'm looking. These are just some of the tools I used. This is the upper arm with the three mushroom heads on top. You're going to have to grind those out. I would drill a hole through all three of them first and go all the way through it till the other end. The uppers are a little easier to remove. That's just a picture of the spindle and all. This is the lower one. This one's more difficult because it slides. The ball joint actually is sandwiched in between two pieces of that lower control arm, and it's a bear to pound those babies out. But if you're patient, you can do it. The control arms are pretty easy to remove. I used a 5-pound hammer and just gave it a whack. The tie rods gave me more problems. I had to use a pneumatic air gun with a pickle fork on it to remove it, and I went ahead and replaced the brake pads since I was already there. The rotor was excellent condition, and that's just the bottom of the rivet. You can see how thick they are. That's the bottom ball joint. That whole piece slides into the lower control arm, and right there it is. And then you see you wear the paint off by grinding it, but if you use engine paint, high gloss black, it does a great job. That's just a drill going through the one of the rivets. That's the upper three of the rivets that were removed, and that's the upper and lower ball joint. That is the lower ball joint, the three holes in the rivets all the way through. That's part of it being drilled, the shavings and so forth. I believe I used a 5/16 drill bit. I broke one drill bit, and I used a 1/4 inch metal drill to drill 2/3 of the way down before you can begin pounding it. I used an old extension drive to a ratchet, a short one, and I used vice grips and a 5-pound hammer and just whacked on the rivets until they came out. They don't come out as easy as it may seem. It just took patience and effort. And right here is just the reassembly. It's pretty self-explanatory. The new ball joints have grease joints on them. Those are the arms when I just painted them. And you rebolt them up. That's the tie rod. I went ahead and replaced those. I marked the old ones with tape so I wouldn't have to do a realignment of the front end. Anyway, there's the tapes on the old ones, and I just measured the same length. Anyway, it can be done. It'll save you some money if you have some patience. You can do it.